Shalom, shalom. Kahalayam La, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, and Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone and teaching will well. Peace and salutations be to the lawful elect. I'm Brother Tazwa. I'm coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Alright, this lesson is going to be going into adultery. Right? The reason that being is because I've seen this one video. I'm probably not gonna I'm not gonna put it up in the maybe I will. Depends, but it was a video of a woman just, who knows if it was a skit, but she was basically cheating on her husband, and all he could say was, "You hurting me right now." I'm like, that's some simp shit, you know. If a woman gonna do stuff like that, let her go. You know, if she gonna commit adultery, she commit adultery in his face. And she didn't give a damn. It's one of them black dragons, them Eves. Alright. She didn't give a damn about how you felt, if he was getting hurt, or if, you know, he wanted to hurt himself because of how she was hurting him, whatever the fuck, but she didn't care. These women are dragons. Okay? Really, she committed adultery on him because he committed spiritual adultery against the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Alright? And probably did it to another man as well. Okay? Now the Lord shows you how he felt. He said, "I'm hurt. You're hurting me right now." Well, we hurt the Lord. You know, we offended the Lord when we went off into other gods and other idols and worshiped things and put things before the Lord, YAHAWASHI, in his glory and majesty. When he created us and took care of us all this time. Now he was the woman that he took care of and you know, looked after and paid for and fed and raised, and you know, she just threw it all away and went to the next man. She said, "I'm going in here with a real man." In the hotel, he found her at the hotel. She said, "I'm going to go in here with a real man." You know, not knowing that man's just there for mating season. And these women don't understand that when they cheating with these men, or they're sleeping with these other men other than their husband, the man that they're sleeping with is not going to stay with them. These women, when they get with men, they get with men hoping for someone that's going to stick around with them and take care of them and be there for them and shit and give them that attention that they're not getting from their husband. Nah, man, these men that you're getting with are just there for mating season. So when he gets that, they call it post-nut clarity, you know, when he lets go of a seed inside of her or whatever, or wherever he may put it, once they're done doing the thing, he's not going to feel the same intensity he felt about her earlier. All right? He's not looking to take care of that woman or to be somebody in her life or to, you know, he's not looking for those things. Okay? He's looking to just get between the next woman's legs and get out of there. Smash and dash, as they say. Hit and run. Hit it and quit it. So there's so many, you know, slangs and terms for it. These niggas know it all. Okay? Let's grab it. And because the guy probably even knew she had a husband. He heard all the ruckus outside the door. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 32. "But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul." Let's grab the NLT. "But the man who commits adultery is an utter fool, for he destroys himself." And NIV says, "But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself." And lastly, the GNT says, "But a man who commits adultery doesn't have any sense. He is just destroying himself." All right? You destroying yourself, man. A good one here, the ISV, the International Standard Version. "Whoever commits adultery with a woman is out of his mind. By doing so, he corrupts his own soul." So he's corrupting himself. All right? You putting stains upon your own soul. Okay? You putting wounds upon your own soul, man. And you got to take this with you when you go stand before the Lord. All right. You've been reputed as an adulterer. Okay. And you don't want to just be doing that willingly and sneaking around and getting inside of the woman without knowing about them, knowing what their background is. And you need to know all these things, okay? Because you commit adultery, that's a heinous act, whether you know it or not, or whether you're aware of her status or not. That's a heinous act. Let's grab the word heinous. This is the definition of heinous. Of a person or wrongful act, especially a crime, it says utterly odious or wicked. Let's grab the definition of the word odious. It says extremely unpleasant, repulsive. Okay. Similar words or synonyms is wicked, evil, atrocious, abominable. Okay, horrible, abhorrent, loathsome, horrifying, awful, terrible, outrageous, unspeakable, unpardonable. Okay, you see the judgment for adultery. Let's grab it. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 10. In the NLT, it says, if a man commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, both the man and the woman who have committed adultery must be put to death. All right. Oh, look at this one. This is another one. It says, if a man NLT, verse 11 says, if a man violates his father by having sex with one of his father's wives, so what you do when you have sex with someone's wife is you're violating that man, okay? That's his property. That's an extension of him. They are one. Okay, so you just did you don't understand the spiritual connection behind it. You just did a spiritual abomination, a spiritual crime. All right, you just messed up the chain or the order. It says, both the man and the woman must be put to death, for they are guilty of a capital offense. And a capital offense is what? A capital offense is like one of the highest forms of crime or highest forms of offense that is punishable by death. Okay, usually by public death, public stoning, or beheading, okay, or hanging. All right. Yeah, usually these after these offenses, people make an example out of you by destroying you and killing you in public, so that everybody knows this is what happens to those that commit such an act. All right. But you let a man foster and live after he's done these things and continue on, he's just going to keep doing it. Okay. Unless he comes into the truth. The truth of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, and his understanding is brightened. He's just going to keep doing it. All right. So back to verse 10. Let's see what the GNT says about verse 10. It says, GNT says, if a man commits adultery with the wife of an Israelite, both he and the woman shall be put to death. So, which is your neighbor, which is your brother, someone of your kindred, right? But even still with that, you know, that was because we had the laws in our land. All right, the law is different here in America. You can commit adultery and get away with it. You won't be punished here in America. But these laws were the laws and foundations of our people and really of the world. All the world is supposed to be following after these laws, man. Starting from Israel on down. Yeah, right. So that don't mean you can go and commit adultery with an Edomite because it says with an Israelite or with your neighbor. No, man. If you go and commit adultery with the man, with Edomite's wife, somehow the Edomite might find you and shoot you, or walk in on you and shoot you. There's still a punishment for these things, okay? Because this is natural. This isn't natural. It's against nature to do such things, all right? And everybody knows. Shit, I seen a video the other day where this Chihuahua, he had a little girlfriend Chihuahua, and when he came outside, he saw another Chihuahua humping his girl. And he was, and they were on like a top of a car or something, the top of a back of a pickup truck where he couldn't reach him, but he could see him. Okay, and they were going at it in public, in the open, where everybody could see. And even the dog was crying out and howling, man. All right, you notice even some of these animals, they catch their wife committing adultery, they'll kill their wife. All right, and attack the guy and attack the man she committed adultery with, because these things aren't. These things are wicked. These are wicked things and evil. Even the animals are in a wicked vibration because of the wickedness in the earth. So you see how wickedness spreads like a cancer. Okay. Let's grab this. In the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Let's grab that in the GNT. See what the GNT's got for us. You ain't supposed to be sitting with another man's wife, man. You're supposed to be hanging out. You're supposed to be communicating on the phone, talking, whatever the fuck. The woman is married to a man. You shouldn't even be looking at her. All right? Let alone talking with her. Oh, let's grab this real quick and we'll get back to that Ecclesiasticus 9 and 9. And the NLT. I'll start in the NIV. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 29 says, in the NIV, so is he who sleeps with another man's... Matter of fact, we'll start a few verses before. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26 in the NIV first, and then we'll do the NLT. So it says, for a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life. NLT says, for a prostitute will bring you to poverty. Like the KJV says, she'll bring a man to a piece of bread. It says, for a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. Whew. Okay, so it's going to cost you. Everything costs in this world. Ain't nothing for free. Okay? That's the basic principles of life. All right, you reap what you sow. Verse 27 in NIV, it says, can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? NLT says, can a man scoop a flame into his lap and not have his clothes catch on fire? NIV, verse 28, can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? NLT, can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? 29, NIV says, so is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. And the Lord will make sure of that. All right? The Lord will make sure to that. Even though we're not in our land anymore where you can't get capital punishment, those laws still abides with the Lord. Okay? He rewards you for the things that you've done, whether it be good or bad. So you still got to pay for that, whether you in the land or not. It says in NLT, so it is with the man who sleeps with another man's wife. He who embraces her will not go unpunished. All right, so we can keep going. We'll just stick to the okay, verse 30 in NLT. Excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. But the man who commits adultery is an utter fool, for he destroys himself. He will be wounded and disgraced. His shame will never be erased. Oof. For the woman's jealous husband will be furious, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation, nor be satisfied with a payoff of any size. Follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commands. This is the proper thing to do, okay? These are basic instructions. You got to understand these before you just go out about your day. This is a universal law. You just cannot do it, okay? When a man goes into another woman, she becomes his rib. She becomes a part of him. All right, that's why she begins to do the same thing he does, make the same jokes, and crack the same jokes and make the same facial expressions. She becomes your woman will become a little you before you know it. The more you go into her, the more she picks up on your ways and your attributes. You know that the scriptures say. She gonna be just like you, man. Okay. So that was Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 9. GNT. Alright, it says Ecclesiastes 9 and 9, or Sirach chapter 9 and verse 9. And the GNT, let's see. It says, verse 8. Start at verse 8. Sirach chapter 9 and verse 8. When you see a good-looking woman, look the other way. Don't let your mind dwell on the beauty of any woman who is not your wife. Many men have been led astray by a woman's beauty. It kindles passion as if it were fire. Don't sit down to eat with another man's wife or join her for a drink. You may give in to the temptation of her charms and be destroyed by your passion. Okay? So you don't want to be given into the temptation of a woman's charms. All right? A woman's features, her comely features. Okay? Her smile, her eyes. All right? The way her skin is smooth and silky, or her curves, whatever it may be. Okay? You don't want to fall for her for her charms. All right? Before you know it, you just like the Energizer Bunny. You in her bed, man. Okay? And then somebody bang, bust open the door. All right? And he got a military-grade rifle in his hand, and he ready to let that shit blow, man. Because you didn't consider, because you didn't follow the scriptures, because you was being a complete horn dog, and you didn't, You didn't think. Scripture says, let reason go before every enterprise. Okay? You need to think before you do anything. And counsel, too. You know, counseling is important. All right? Let's see if I can grab that. I can't really find it, so I can. But we'll grab this instead. The book of Proverbs. It's like the book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. All right, you're going to be blessed if you don't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. Don't listen to these ungodly niggas. You need to counsel with brothers in this truth about what you should do, you know, whatever it may be. Oh, man, I seen this woman. She was fine as hell. I don't know if, you know, well, brother goes to go and check. Make sure she got to, you know, see if she's given to someone or not before you think any more upon it, you know. If you desire to go and get a woman, you need to ask these questions. Don't just start talking to her without asking any of these questions, okay? 9 times out of 10, she gonna make this known to you. And some niggas still proceed. Niggas say, what they got to do with me? Or drop the 0 and get with a hero. These niggas are sick, man. You know, and I know because I used to be one of them niggas, man. And I'm not proud of it. That's a shame that I can't wipe away. You know, I wish I can go back and turn the tables, but I can't. I just got to be grateful for the Lord's grace. Scripture say, the Lord say, my grace is sufficient unto thee. Okay? So, hey, man, with that, matter of fact, I'm going to grab more scripture and close out. Sorry, I didn't mean to make this too long. I just spent a lot of time looking for scriptures that I can't find. It says, Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. Okay, so you get your woman. That's your woman, man. You can go into her as many times as you want to. But whoremongers and adulterers, YAHAWASHI will judge. You want to be a pimp? You want to be an adulterer? You looking at other man's woman? Thinking about getting into bed with another man's woman? First of all, that's a bit weird. Okay, that's a bit on the flamboyant side. Because this man just got through dipping his private parts in her. Now you want to go dip your private parts in the same place. You need to consider what you're doing. Okay? But you're not considering all. You also got to consider what this is going to do to you. All right? You think you in secret? You think the Lord don't see you? No, man. The Lord sees everything. And He will pull your tab when it is time. All right? Scriptures say a certain fearful looking of judgment. You know? When you go start doing these wicked things, man. Exodus 20:14, we'll close out with this. Thou shalt not commit adultery, which is the topic of the lesson. Don't commit adultery, man. Just stay away from these women. If you can, just refrain yourself from even being with a woman, man, or doing things with women. Alright, it's better that way so you can focus on the Lord. And solo level up, man. Alright, but if you can't do that, you're burning. Get you a woman, settle down with that woman, and y'all gonna be good. Whatever you want with that woman in your bed, man. I'm gonna say whatever you want. There's still such a thing as sexual immorality, okay? Because these other camps teach you that you can just go inside a woman's backside and all sorts of shit like that. You can't do that, man. That's sick. All right, and also that is flamboyant. But the point of getting a woman is you can go into your woman however many times you want to. Okay. Consider the fact that she can bear children. You might want to be temperate in that too. Okay? Don't go out here laying with another man's woman, man. That's going to get you fucked up fast. With that, I give all glory, honor, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.